Welcome back to another episode of AA Illustrates. As I've said before, one of the privileges of this role is that I get to talk to different product owners and experts here at Automation Anywhere. And today I am joined by Larkin, who is responsible for our Pathfinder Mission Control. Larkin, for our audience, can you break down a little bit, like what is Pathfinder Mission Control? What's that experience like? What are people using it for? All the details.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me, Micah. Pathfinder Mission Control is really cool. It helps automation leaders to accelerate their automation programs. I feel like, we all have so much to do day to day, right? We are really busy, and it's hard to take a step back and think about your long-term vision and goals.
Yeah.
And that's especially true for an automation leader because intelligent automation is a cutting-edge space. There's no blueprint or book that you can buy about how to build an automation program.
No book yet. We're working on it.
No book yet. Yeah, we'll get there. Mission Control is like the rough draft of that
perfect.
book.
Yeah.
So it will help you evaluate where your program is now and then figure out where you want to go. And it gives you really detailed step-by-step tools and guides to get there.
That's awesome. I like that a lot. I hear from a lot of automation leaders that they say, I think we're doing well, but
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily always this great network of automation leaders that are talking openly about the successes they've had, their return on investment, stuff like that. So this is a great tool for them to kind of be able to understand their maturity and see where they're at.
Yeah.
Tell me about what that user experience is like. If I'm interested in Pathfinder Mission Control, I want to give it a try. What does it look like for me to get signed up, get started? What's that like?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're totally right that it's hard for customers to find all those resources, whether it's to learn about automation best practices or connect with peers. And we just launched a new website. So our Pathfinder website is at pathfinder.automationanywhere.com.
Subtle plug that I love.
Yeah. Sneaking that in. So if you go to Pathfinder, you'll find all of those different community and educational resources for automation professionals. If you go there, you're also going to find Mission Control.
Okay.
Getting back to your question. So Mission Control is basically a 3-step program. First, you're going to take an assessment. You're going to figure out how your program is doing today. I recommend sitting down with your whole team and doing it as a group because then you have a really good discussion about what different people think about your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, so that's a pro tip. Do this with your team
Yes.
because you're going to get the most out of it that way.
Yes.
How long do we expect the maturity assessment to take?
Yeah. If you do it by yourself, maybe 10, 15 minutes. If you do it as a team, it could be an hour-long discussion.
Yeah, and I think doing it as a team is really important because you have that back and forth of there's the developer in the room, there's a business analyst in the room, there's a business stakeholder in the room. They all have different perspectives of how you're doing maturity-wise and how your program's going. All right.
Yeah.
So that was step 1.
Yes.
Do the assessment.
Yes.
What comes out of that assessment?
Right. So step 2 is building a 90-day plan. Once you know where you are, you need to plan where you want to go. And we definitely recommend building a 90-day or 1-quarter plan so you have, enough time to get significant work done, but it's also a manageable time period.
Yeah.
Your assessment is going to give you recommendations for 1 or 2 missions to focus on.
Okay.
We have 7 different missions based on your particular strengths and weaknesses. You'll pick 1 or 2.
Opportunities.
Opportunities. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I know the language.
No, look, you always have so many different things that you want to do. You have a wish list of 10 things you want to invest in.
That's right.
You need to prioritize one right now.
Absolutely.
So Mission Control will help you do that. And then it'll also give you specific actions. For every mission, there will be 10 or 15 actions to take with a bunch of resources about how to get them done. Take those, use Jira, use a spreadsheet, whatever you prefer, and build a specific 90-day plan with tasks, with owners, with due dates.
Yeah.
That's step 2, is building a plan. And then step 3 is executing that plan.
Okay.
So you can find a weekly meeting or a team stand-up, whatever works, but have a regular cadence where you're checking in with your team about how that whole plan is going.
Yep.
And lean on Automation Anywhere.
That's
You
right.
have great resources online. You have your CSM to be a sounding board for ideas or connect you with resources. And by the way, I should mention all of this is completely free.
Yeah, that's the best
We want our
part.
customers to grow. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think, if we look at your 90-day action plan, what are you really doing in that? Well, you may be implementing some things you haven't done before.
Right.
You may be kicking off some POCs, proof of concept, that you maybe have been waiting to try out. You haven't tried anything with Copilot. You haven't tried anything with the new API tasks. This can be a great way to hold yourselves accountable to doing some of the exploration in some of these different areas.
Right.
And it may come down to just maturing in the way that you do certain things, with the way that you do your documentation, or the way that you're thinking about building your automations with the solution pattern modeling framework, right? Those are all great opportunities to say, we're going to take the next 90 days, we're going to try to implement some of the recommendations and the best practices outlined by the Pathfinder Mission Control program.
That's right.
After the 90 days, you retake the assessment, right?
That's right. That's right. And then you choose your next top priority and create a new 90-day plan.
That's great. And I love that it gives automation programs the opportunity to benchmark themselves, see where they're at, identify hey, where are we weak? Where do we have some opportunities to improve? Where are we doing really well, right? And then as you continue to go through these 90-day action plans, put into practice the missions from Pathfinder, then you can start to see hey, we're really improving in this area. Based on this framework, we're starting to really grow. We're starting to see a bigger impact for our automation program.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Larkin, thank you so much for coming to talk to me about Mission Control. Again, it's pathfinder.automationanywhere.com. Sign in. You can get started with the Pathfinder Mission Control, do your assessment, get into your 90-day action plan, and get started with your Pathfinder missions.
Yeah. Thanks, Micah.